Hey guys, Beach Billy, Outdoor Dog Supply, bringing you today the introduction of new 300 Alpha. It is called the 300. This really started as an introduction with Garmin. We've been testing this for quite some time. It really started as a big upgraded unit to the 200. That's one of the reasons when you look at it, it's going to look like what you recognize a 200. Hopefully we'll see maybe a little color change in the future. It's just a hope, but it kind of stinks that it looks the same because really it is not the same unit. Some of the first improvements, let's go ahead and start from the get-go. Battery life, literally 3 times more than what the other unit. It recognized today because we used it in another video yesterday and accidentally left the unit on, and believe it or not, when I went and picked it, it was still on this morning and it still had battery life, and it probably didn't have but half battery life yesterday. So they're giving it as much as like 40 hours. I'm getting 2 full days during hunting season. So I literally can hunt all day with it. I'm running 15 dogs at a time, and was able to get 2 days out of it without having to put it on charge. So before, the very most I'd get, if I started in the morning time, by 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, I was having to plug it into a truck charger. So battery life is extremely nice. Second real big feature is, I know one of the biggest complaints with the 200 is the very dull looking screen when you're in your truck, when you're inside. This is definitely better. You got your color back. It's still, to me, not perfect, but it's a whole lot better than what the 200 was. And then you still have, just like the 200, if you're outside, it's extremely bright, very, very good looking screen. So I would definitely say it's a big upgrade from the 200. It's not as nice as some other products I've seen. It's not as nice as your cell phone, but it's still much more colorful. Next thing, while we're talking about the actual battery save itself, in the 200, when they went to the battery saver mode, unlike the 100 you could tap the screen or you touched it and it would come back on. Apparently there was a lot of complaints because it was real easy. If it was in your pocket, if you touched it, it would turn your screen on. How I set mine on this is I set a 2-minute screen, and then I put the battery saver on. Well, with the new 200, if your screen cuts off, all you have to do is double tap it and your screen comes back on. So the whole time you're not in a vehicle, or it's in your pocket, or you're not looking at it, you're saving battery by putting on your battery save. But literally with a touch of a pop pop, you're now back looking at your screen. So before, you had to hit the power button. It was just kind of it was a nuisance. It was something to where I didn't want to use the battery saver. So 2 minutes or 1 minute, and that way it's going to stay on while you're looking at it without having to touch it, and then a double tap is what I recommend. Next big feature, they have made it, it's a little more like your cell phone now. So in the past, you were always stuck with the same menu screen when you were on. So if you were on your map, if you look down, you only had your map or compass to go to, or home. So you'd always have to go home, then find your other menus, which dog list is one I use all the time, especially now that you can turn certain dogs on and off really quickly. You can change groups. You know, to me, the dog list is just as much of a necessity or more than the compass, and almost as much as the map. So they now have it where you can literally, you just go into your menu, you push on whichever one you want to add, which me is the dog list. You can add up to 4 at the bottom of your screen. So I still keep my map and my compass because I think those are, I've gotten used to them there. I use both of those. I use the compass when I turn on in the morning to make sure all the dogs are connected. I use the map, obviously, that's my bird's eye. That's how I keep track of the dogs. And then the dog list is one where I can go in and switch dogs very, very quickly. Okay, and next big thing is, since we're talking about the menu and the way we can change, they also now have 3 different types of menu style. You can click in, there's a list style, which literally has all your home on a list. And that, I've used that. I really, really like it. It's very neat, very organized. You learn where things are very quickly. Or you can do a small list. And what that does is it has your entire menu list pretty much on one screen, and you have small icons. I'll be honest with you, the older I get and the harder I can see, I struggle a little bit with the small icons. So you younger guys, or guys with good vision, or guys that wear glasses all the time, man, it's nice having all your menus right there on the screen at one time also. So play with those. It's very, very easy. You just go into your menu, go into your display, and you're going to pick the list and look at them and see which one you like. I think I'm going to end up staying on the actual list itself because it's easy, it's organized, and I can read them. Next, this is something people complained about, something terrible. with now the new 300 comes with a C charger instead of the micro USB. Micro USB was just an older charger. We had them with our cell phones. They broke very easy. These new C chargers, they clip in. You know, I'm not getting it constantly beeping at me. It's not charging going down the road. The C charger has been a whole lot nicer to deal with in the last few months and all hunting season. So I can tell you it is a much better charger, and you're not going to have near the issues with it. Another new feature that Garmin themselves have come out with this in the 300. You guys that go to trials, you guys that go to hunt clubs, and there's 10, 15 other dogs. I mean, one thing that we've always learned with the 200 is interference. A couple things that Garmin have done this time are going to greatly help interference. The channel view, now I'll be honest with you, we hunt with the same people all the time, so most of the time at the beginning of the season, we have most of the, once we start getting interfering collars, I change. But what the channel view does is it literally goes in, it tracks all the collars around you that it can. It's going to tell you what does and doesn't interfere. So you get to a club for the first time, you want to go in, you don't want to have interference, you can search, and then you can pick the IDs that are not being used, and literally you can rechange your IDs so that you're not going to have any interference. So that is a really nice new feature, especially the guys that go out, hunt with different people. It's a way to go in the morning time and eliminate most of your interference. And going with the interference too, guys, us guys going to these trials, the new TT25 collars just come out the same. Check on the reviews on that. But with the new dynamic modes and the way these are working, the more and more people that switch to the dynamic modes, we're going to also get less interference in these hunts as well. So look at those new collars, and if it's something that you can afford, or we do trade-ins, I would look at that also. Another big thing with the new 300, this is actually probably my favorite. The only thing is it's going to be to where other people are going to have to get the 300 to make it work. Garmin has come in. One of the biggest complaints, again, we get there in the morning, I'm hunting with somebody new, he's new to the club, I want to be able to help him track his dogs, and he's brought 10 dogs, and I've got to sit there and put one in at a time, or share one at a time. So what Garmin has done is they have come in with the new 300. We can now share groups. So I can take group Billy, or I can take group Austin, and I now can share that with somebody to be able to, so they'll get the whole group at one time. It's a huge time saver. It's going to make it a lot easier for those club members that want to help. And I'll tell you, we got to use that a little bit. Not obviously, this is not a lot of 300s floating out there yet. So the little bit that we used it's absolutely incredible. I really, really like it. So again, that's a feature in the new 300. Unfortunately, it's not able to share with the 100 or the 100 or the 200. But as more and more people get to 300, I think it's a feature that you're going to love. So, again, I'll give this an A. Obviously there's things. I'd love to see a bigger screen. There's lots of things that we hope Garmin will do in the future for, a newer, bigger model. But as far as fixing the 200 and fixing the problems, this truly is a different unit. They've gotten rid of a lot of the issues that we've had. They've added some really, really nice new features. I give it an A. It's definitely worth the difference. Especially if you haven't gotten or you haven't traded a 100 up yet, 100% I would go with the 300 for the extra $50 over the 200. Again, we do trade-ins here at Outdoor Dog Supply. We get boxes of them every day. If it's something to where, you've had issues with the 200, I really think right now, while there's still good market in the 200, it'd be a great time to trade. And of course, I think it's hands down, up from the 100. So this is Beach Billy. Thank y'all for watching the video. We'll also have a setup and all for the 300. So check out the other videos, and we'll see y'all soon. Thanks a lot.